Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter. It's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Wow, family. Good morning.
God's promises and hiding truth and truth trick you into voting for them. 100 days. The 6th election day. Still await for the promise before the 5th. One broken promise after another. Laughable, as we say. None of your promise no fulfill yet, boss. So there are we. Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament. All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets, which are agreed upon by the cabinet, focused on 2 things: economic growth and job creation.
Andrew, you need for doing you said from 2016, you say you're going to put it on paper. So anything you put on paper, the MP have to work with it. So you need to do it now. I feel like so when you do that, the MP will do them work and we will see work done in the community.
Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
Andrew, unless John won, he breaking promise. Enough thing him say I'm gonna do enough for the next 100 years, and now he not do nothing. Him not keep no promise, and him say I'm the promise keeper. What a promise, John was start.
At a convenient time within our new government, we will hold a grand referendum at the CCJ, the Court of Justice, and the Final Appellate Court.
You make so much promise for us. Look how long you're in there. Nothing done. All for the COVID. You promise people $25,000. Nothing done. Huh? So what you expect me to do? Tell me if you sleep in the door with the open. And nothing done.
Good morning, family. Clock still ticking. Nothing done. How you guys doing this morning? Guys, you know, say, we come back to you guys this morning with a little bit more information. Things I think you guys should hear. And I really believe that Andrew Holness should step down. You cannot be allowed to be the prime minister of the country. You lied to all of us. You lied to all of us, my brother. You lied to say you did not know of anybody after a search far and wide who is under investigation for illicit enrichment, Mr. Holness. How are you going to get away from that? The other part of it where your company reported nil. You guys reported nil to the tax administration of Jamaica when from one of the company, a loan was drawn of $20 million. The same company that scored nil, recorded nil to the tax administration of Jamaica. So it looked like the Prime Minister himself do not want to pay taxes. It's not the first way I hear about this, Mr. Prime Minister, because we all listen Zara Burton. I'm afraid to put it up again and play the whole goddamn audio. But this morning, guys, I want you guys listen to something here because they're not going to tell you any lie. For those of you who was not here yesterday, I'm going to show you something. And I hope you have watched the video I did last night. We were read where the integrity, remember, Tom Tavares Finson, the speaker, the president of the house, remember him come out, come tell, we say, the Integrity Commission now have no power under the law to refer the Prime Minister to Financial Investigation Division. I did my research. I did the video last night. Please go and watch it. Very interesting and educational. So Tom Tavares Finns right now, he want to make we believe, say, the Integrity Commission don't have no power whatsoever in law to refer the crooked Prime Minister for investigation. So basically what did I tell me, say? These guys do not want the truth to come out to the Jamaican people. No respect to the people, you know. This guy that respect the people, him could have come out on a back slackness. Or else Tom Tavares should have go. Tam Tavares should go. No integrity. Tam Tavares should go until you come explain this otherwise to us. Financial Investigation Division, the FID. Look at this. We're not going to read it all over. The Integrity Commission and FID formalized strategic partnership with MOU. Now people are ready for you last night. We go right through it. We go right through it, people. I'm going to show you how they are connected, sharing information. Yeah, it's all legal, people. This is in the 2021 cinema signed documents there. The documents are signed between Integrity Commission and FID that they can share information. We're not going to read it again this morning. We read it last night. Yeah, go check the video we do last night, people. Trust me, explain it. I'm ready for you. So Tam Tavares, it would be lying knowing this and come and tell me other things. You understand me? So me want Tam Tavares, come tell me what we read there, so. Come tell me what this headline mean. Come watch me video me do last night. Tam Tavares, come tell me if you're not a big old liar. You know, we don't trust you, you know. Come tell me if you're not a big old liar, Tam Tavares. Come tell me, say the Integrity Commission now no power for refer the Prime Minister to FID. Are you crazy? You guys seem like you want to neuter the Integrity Commission. I'd rather you guys take your crooked ass out of office. I like you guys take a crooked ass out of office and stop tear apart the country with the stupid ass corruption. Stop tear apart the country with the goddamn lies. You guys are disgusting. I think the whole stupid organization, the criminal organization, what I don't think is a goddamn government, need to go under thorough investigation. I think every member of this criminal organization, where I don't think, because I can see the government are run out of this. Hold on if you go. Let me move up, man. Disgusting setter. Yo, swamp. Some of it more it's swampy. The JLP is a swamp monstrous party. See nobody hear that, boy? But you know what? I'm going to hear what Miss Diane Jackson have to say first about this before we go further. I'm going to you guys here now. I'll take you guys a bit. People at TVJ, we're going to listen to this man with Diane Jackson, you know, a law mind, that woman with the law mind. I'm like to hear she talk. I'm going to hear what she has to say, this man and the whole thing here.
Report from the Integrity Commission looking at the statutory declarations of Prime Minister Andrew Holness is finally out. It's been tabled in Parliament. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through the main points, and also, though, I have to make some comments about some of what has been going on in terms of conversation and discussion about this issue in the public arena. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. So, as I said, a couple of quick comments first of all. No, I am concerned about the way in which public discussion on this issue has gone on for the last week and a half. Now, because one particular portion of the report...
Guys, when I hear good, are you guys hearing me good? Let me drink my black coffee. Coming in the arm to an argument. People not listen, who not hear good. My chef around here good because I don't want to go back and watch a video and then I hear parts and miss out and all them things. I'm saying, oh, why somebody never tell me, say, they're not here. Who not here good? Comment section, one to the finger. He broke off this man and now Whitlock. What happened? Who not Whitlock? Comment section, talk to me. When you can't comment, hold on there. When the finger freeze to backside. Comment section. Did I not do something right here this morning? I open our ear. Yeah. So
the long-awaited report from the Integrity Commission looking at the statutory declarations of Prime Minister Andrew Holness is finally out. It's been tabled in Parliament. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through the main points, and also, though, I have to make some comments about some of what has been going on in terms of conversation and discussion about this issue in the public arena. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dion Jackson Miller.
Thank you, JP. Thank you for that.
So, as I said, a couple of quick comments first of all. No, I am concerned about the way in which public discussion on this issue has gone on for the last week and a half. Now, because one particular portion of the report was leaked, the part dealing with the 4 accounts that the Prime Minister's name was said to be on, and in relation to which the Director of Corruption Prosecutions had said there shouldn't be any charge. The entire discussion for the past week and a half has been, how the Integrity Commission could have spent 2 years and look upon $400,000 in a 4 bank account, and them a waste money. They need to be dismantled and so on. And there has been an all-out attack on the Integrity Commission, when in reality, when you look at the report, there is so much more in the report than the issue of those 4 accounts. Also, it brings into, what should I say, it raises as well for me a concern I've had over the past few years, which is that there seems to be a deliberate attempt to destroy the Integrity Commission in terms of the kind of attacks on it, the way in which this kind of tearing down of the commission and the commissioners and the people who work there. Look, it's a young organization, relatively speaking. Have they made some mistakes? Yes. So, for instance, when they sent out the previous report on the Prime Minister, and they sent out the investigation report which recommended that charges be laid, and then it was not until a few days later, after the country had been in an uproar, that the report came out from the Director of Corruption Prosecution saying no charges are going to be laid, and many people, including myself, criticized them for not submitting both those reports together. Since then, that's exactly what they've done. When you have a new entity, one as important as this, you nurture it, you correct it. It's like almost like a small child, really, honestly. You look at ways to improve it, because when you're doing something new, you are going to have some teething pains, you are going to have some issues, and we absolutely should raise those issues. But this all-out attack and attempt to destroy the commission is very concerning. Now, one of the other concerns I've heard is how long this investigation took. Well, actually, if you actually choose to look at the report, if you have the time, it's 171 pages. And once you start to get into it, you can understand why it took so much time. It's an in-depth investigation into not a couple of bank accounts, but about 28 bank accounts, 3 companies as well, and the movement of money. These things are going to take a long time. In addition, people have been objecting to the fact that the Integrity Commission said they brought in an, using the words, independent international forensic accounting examiner, saying, again, it's a witch hunt and they're wasting money. This cannot be the way we look at these things, people. If such an important investigation is being carried out, you want to know what is the real situation, and if the entity needs to bring in outside assistance, then it needs to do that. That can be something we quarrel about, honestly. In addition, this idea that the Integrity Commission looked at this, investigated this for 2 years, didn't find anything, and now they want to refer the matter to the FID, the Financial Investigation Division. Also, that's a wrong way to look at the issue. My first video on the Integrity Commission, if you haven't watched it yet, please watch it. Please watch it. I talk about the gag clause in the Integrity Commission Act, the fact that the Integrity Commission cannot speak to anybody about its investigations, and how it means that we cannot therefore have any joined up investigation taking place. The Integrity Commission cannot work with the FID. If the FID comes to them and say, hey, are you looking at this issue? They can't answer, right? So there can be no collaboration of law enforcement agencies. And when have you ever heard of that happening? So that is an issue. As I said, look at the video. I'll link it at the end of this particular video. All right, so let me take you now through the report as quickly as I can. I'm taking you just through the summary as well as a
So as you can hear, people, a little more clarity on the video we did last night. So even though the 2 of them in 2021 signed a memorandum of understanding, the MOU, that is the FID and the Integrity Commission, them boy go back, go gag them. The boy go back, click them, see them and do this something good enough to stop criminality, Them go back, go block this. So you hear Miss Diana say, you hear she say, it's all connected. You hear she say, how you gonna have 2 agencies to investigate corruption? Be ready for you last night, or the 2 of them plan to work together, collaborate together to stop this form of crime. But here, this is 2021. So you want to tell me, say, another gag order between this memorandum signing right or so? According to Miss Jackson say, You want to tell me, say them gag them again, despite of this MOU. Right, so. You want to tell me, say, these politicians go behind my back and gag the integrity. Be a criminal that run office. Andrew Holness, you must leave office. You and Tom Tavares, you guys must go. All of you guys. Here doesn't have better as a criminal life in a parliament. To me, it appeared to me like this is a criminal organization instead of a government. Let's continue to listen.
Conclusions and recommendations, because as I said, it's really long. So the investigation started because the commissioners asked the director of investigations to investigate, saying there were concerns that he owned assets that were disproportionate to his lawful earnings for the 2021 declaration period. In other words, they looked at his numbers and they said, oh, you have a certain amount of money, but we don't know how you got it because your income, what we're seeing in terms of your lawful earnings, don't seem to match up with how much money or how many assets you have in all. And that was the basis of the investigation, of the request, I should say, for the director to investigate. So it was on that basis, he said, that he started the investigation. And he did say that he was unable to arrive at a conclusion regarding illicit enrichment in respect of Mr. Holness, as he did not have access to a schedule of Mr. Holness's personal expenses over the period. And
so that means that Mr. Holness a hide document from these people. He's not being transparent. You're going to need the police to get them and question out of this man. And you know, say JLP do not want this to be investigated. Just like how the JLP party don't want the $1.7 trillion that is missing from the Prime Minister office, Tuckton and Faval ministry. 1.7 trillion. Them don't want to find out all the money there. This is a criminal organization. Okay? Let's continue.
Due to unresolved questions concerning the operation of companies with which he's connected, but he said he nevertheless conducted a net worth analysis in respect of Mr. Holness and a company that is wholly owned by Mr. Holness. He said the analysis didn't show any unexplained growth in Mr. Holness's net worth for 2021, but it showed unexplained growth in Mr. Holness's net worth for the year 2022. Now, they point out a problem. They say a major issue was that one of the bank accounts that Mr. Holness didn't declare to the Integrity Commission, the financial institution had said the money in there was in US dollars when in fact it was in Jamaican dollars. So that created a problem. The investigation therefore had to be closed down. There wasn't any finding of culpability on the part of Mr. Holness, but they said the declaration was still inaccurate and incomplete because of these bank accounts that he hadn't declared. So he was asked to submit a new updated statutory declaration for 2021, and he did that. And it also raised concerns for the commissioners that Mr. Holness owned assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings. So again, he began an investigation. So after that second referral, the director's investigation led him, he said, to examine over 3,600 transactions in respect of about 28 bank accounts, which either were or are presently associated with Mr. Holness. They got over 80 witness statements and they held judicial hearings. And they also asked Mr. Holness for some explanations of some of the findings they were making.
Guys, I'll be right back after this short break.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and as a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want labor rights carry that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
All of this would help to explain why it was the investigation took so long. They also said given the complexity and the volume of transactions involved, an independent international forensic accounting examiner was engaged to determine, among other things, the nature and extent of the interplay between Mr. Holness and 3 connected companies, Imperium, Estate Bridge, and Positive Media Solution. And they said, based on the volume of transactions observed in the bank accounts, the forensic examiner took about 6 months to complete his examination and submit his report. And then he comes to a number of conclusions. So I'm just going to go straight now to the conclusions. The director concludes that Mr. Holness was required to file statutory declarations, which he did. And the director further concludes that Mr. Holness failed to include in them at least 4 bank accounts jointly held by him at the time. And let me just deal with that very quickly, because the director of corruption prosecutions now looked at that issue. She said of the 4 bank accounts, 3 of them were supposedly held by Mr. Holness along with a family member. The 3rd was supposedly held by him along with a former constituency worker. Mr. Holness said in relation to the accounts that his name was on with his family members, that his name was added for survivorship. In other words, if the parent dies, then the account is automatically his without having to go through probate. That's what that is. He says he doesn't remember why his name is on the account of his former worker. But in any event, he said these were accounts that he didn't have anything to do with. He doesn't know anything about the source of funds. The director of corruption prosecution said in relation to 2 of the accounts, there is insufficient evidence to show that he was actually a joint account holder during the time period. In respect of the other 2, she said, looking at the transactions on the account, one of them, the one with the constituency worker, there were no funds coming from Mr. Holness's personal
Constituency worker. Wagwan boy. Mama, dada, sons, wife, constituency worker. A wagwan. Is it another case of royal greed who have him helper, have open bank account, so them can use the card, stuff money in the account, take money out behind the poor helper back. The woman was stressed out and she have a health problem. Is it royal greed who uses driver information, open account, and also have his driver would get contract at CMU and never know say him name upon it? Poor driver never know say him have big old contract at the university, you know, people. Royal greed go put this man name like a him as a contract at the university. That a real greed a call all of the money, you know. Him at the contractor, you know, but him putting driver name. How many of the sudden politician and road people money in that this name? So hold on. If you put money in your mother name and money in your father name, in your pick your wife name, what about the other people them around you? Don't tell me say other politician now pull a royal greed. Put money in other people. So hit me about the constituency worker right there, so. Can I make me ears lift up like a dog? Let's continue.
Account to that particular account, what they saw was the earnings, you know, the salary coming in for the worker. In relation to the other account, there were about 10 transactions over a 6-year period from Mr. Holness's personal account.
Sorry, Miss Jackson, we could have get a better picture of you put up here, so but people don't watch it. Woman prettier than that, you see. Me just snap the picture when she attack and just sketch her mouth looking at. But she a beautiful woman. But sorry, me have a better picture. Me should have do you better than that on social media. Because I love your work. Listen to people. Go and listen to the beautiful lady.
To that account, which was held by a family member, and she said there wasn't anything to contradict his explanation in relation to these accounts, and that therefore there was not sufficient evidence to establish that he had made a false statement in the statutory declaration, meaning that yes, 2 of the accounts he should have declared, but they couldn't prove that he had the mental element, what's called the mens rea, to show that he was deliberately making a false statement. So that concludes that in relation to the 4 accounts, no recommendation of any charges. The director concludes that on the basis of the analysis conducted on Mr. Holness's / Imperium's assets, liabilities, and income for 2021, there does not appear to be any unexplained growth in net worth. But in 2022, the director found what appeared to be unexplained growth in Mr. Holness / Imperium's net worth of just over $1.9 million. The director's conclusion is premised on the fact that based on the evidence available to him, including the explanations provided by Mr. Holness, the increase in Mr. Holness's asset or net worth cannot be without more be justified by his known income and liabilities. It says the director was, however, hindered in his attempt to fully resolve the issue on the basis of Mr. Holness's refusal to provide him with a breakdown of his expenses for the period covered by the investigation. This refusal on the part of Mr. Holness inhibited the director's ability to make a more comprehensive.
Oh, you hear that? The man still not cooperate with the Integrity Commission. He can't tell how he combine wealth. And this man, una fight for keeping the office, poor people, una damn idiot, or what? When part program, youth them run out of money and hungry. Hungry come to school, me see part money run out. Miss where they come, the government, Papa burial contractor, funeral home over $100 million. Me see where Nutri Products maker have to come out, come embarrass the government, where I make Nutri Products for poor people picnic. Me see company where I make uniform for the government, come out, come embarrass the government, you know, the paper, for not pay them. Teachers, me see them come out, come protest. Police march and the government never happened in the history yet. The police have the government in a court for lack of wages. Air traffic controller striking never happened yet. Under this man, it just collect for the last 8 years for the man, office people appear, script my script. Him not decide for go, him not plan to go and go do no work, people. Not tell me say every administration, every ministry and mash up. So not tell me that say a fool, Andrew Holness fool, I don't know if I run a country. Them too busy and stuff them goddamn pocket. Prison them all should go.
Is conducted on Mr. Holness's / Imperium's assets, liabilities, and income for 2021. There does not appear to be any unexplained growth in net worth. But in 2022, the director found what appeared to be unexplained growth in Mr. Holness / Imperium's net worth of just over $1.9 million. The director's conclusion is premised on the fact that based on the evidence available to him, including the explanations provided by Mr. Holness, the increase in Mr. Holness's asset or net worth cannot be without more be justified by his known income and liabilities. It says the director was, however, hindered in his attempt to fully resolve the issue on the basis of Mr. Holness's refusal to provide him with a breakdown of his expenses for the period covered by the investigation. This refusal on the part of Mr. Holness inhibited the director's ability to make a more comprehensive and final assessment of Mr. Holness's assets, liabilities, and income. In other words, the director was not in a position to determine what portion of Mr. Holness's income was used for living and other expenses, and therefore not available for asset acquisition. They also said the question surrounding use of funds belonging to Positive Jamaica Foundation to partially purchase a bond worth $94,000 and the operation of companies with which Mr. Holness is / was associated.
Guys, this one is Joan Jackson Miller, a beautiful woman for what? TVJ News, but she have her own local Joan Jackson Miller. She have her own Facebook, YouTube page. You know, go check her out, you know. No go over there, go subscribe to her because she always come with the things and with the law, knowledge, and background. Me always I learn from that woman, yeah. I respect her work. So with the respect behind her work, I'm telling you guys, go check out her work. Joan Jackson Miller on YouTube. Very bright woman. She's also a beautiful sister.
And which he named as source of funds to acquire particular assets would need to be resolved by the relevant entities before the director can make a final conclusion on the question of illicit enrichment. They say significant financial transactions were seen among 3 of the companies, Imperium, Positive Media, and Estate Bridge. And more particularly, the evidence indicates deposits of over $473 million and withdrawals of $427 million between 2020 and June 2023. Now they spoke of this bond. It's a $94,000 bond that Mr. Holness acquired in September 2019, and the director says only about $61,892.98 was funded by him. The rest was taken from funds apparently belonging to a registered charity, Positive Jamaica Foundation, of which Mr. Holness was a director. And the issue here is source of funds. Where did the funds come from to buy the bond? The director says Mr. Holness's indication that the full portion of the bond was erroneously attributed to him by NCB Capital Markets is misleading and unsupported by the evidence. So they mention a number of issues. They said the conclusion is based on one, Mr. Holness had throughout the life of the bond reported it to the commission in his statutory declarations as his asset. It was never indicated it didn't belong fully to him. Two, Mr. Holness, before buying the bond, had entered into a written bond purchase agreement clearly stating the value of the bond. Three, NCB Capital Markets said that in buying the bond, they acted on Mr. Holness's written instructions and that he didn't raise any concerns in relation to any contrary intention. Concerns were only raised by Mr. Holness in June 2024 when Capital Markets made contact with him to ascertain source of funds for the purchase. They say 4, he got a regular statement showing the value of the bond, and 5, when proceeds from another bond were erroneously deposited in his account, he reported it to NCB Capital Markets. They made the adjustments. There were no indication at the time that there was an error in respect of the $94,000 bond. And they said 6, when the bond was called in 2020, principal and interest were paid to Mr. Holness. And they said the asset in totality was treated as belonging to him in every material respect up to June 2024, when the director's investigations led to inquiries being made of Mr. Holness as the source of funds. Mr. Holness's explanation in this regard must therefore, says the director, be rejected and deemed to be unsatisfactory. The director concludes that the funding of the company Positive Media, in which Imperium, which is wholly owned by Mr. Holness, was a majority shareholder before being replaced by one of Mr. Holness's sons in 2022, they said the funding of that company raises concerns as to the true nature of the company's operations. This because they said Mr. Holness's explanation about the funding of the company, he said Positive Media is funded by Imperium, but the director says the evidence suggests that Positive Media was funding Imperium rather than Imperium funding Positive Media.
Wow.
Amounts totaling over 70 million were transferred from Positive Media to Imperium and over 50 million from Imperium to Positive Media during the period. A surplus of about 20 million remained in Imperium's account, and that will need to be ventilated, he says, by the relevant authority. The director concludes that the filing of nil income tax returns for the years 2021 and 2022 on the part of Imperium Estate Bridge and Positive Media in circumstances where the companies reported income and other business activities in their audited financial statements poses significant tax compliance concerns.
Wow.
And they say that the director further concludes that the filing of a nil income tax return and income tax return with income of $355,100 by Green Emerald in 2021 and 22 in circumstances where this company had provided short-term loans to Positive Media of over 20 million and appeared to be in operation also raises serious tax compliance concerns. They say it's accepted and understood that a company, though operating at a loss, may be in a position to offer loans. But the issue here is whether the companies had any income and expenses over the period which were not disclosed to Tax Administration of Jamaica. The director further concludes that this conduct on the part of the principals of Imperium, Estate Bridge, Positive Media, and Green Emerald prima facie, on the face of it, constitutes a fundamental undermining of the tax laws and particularly a breach of section.
People, but I realize that the prime minister of the country, with all the money he have, don't want to pay taxes. I mean, say the man them tax and card. They not kill Jamaica with taxes. Me say, they not kill Jamaica with taxes. Me say, they not kill Jamaica with taxes and everything tighten up around the neck. and them not pay no taxes. What a national disgrace. Mighty God of Daniels. How happen? People who can't do that at Jamaica. Everything a tax. You have a personal vehicle, them turn it in a CC plate. Me did already a video and show you how many cars in Jamaica, personal cars, sedan, cars. You have to put in a green plate because if you want to carry something in a personal car, like in America, you saw, sometimes you see people load up all them clothes in them car, them gone to the laundromat. Car full up of dirty clothes. Not true. In a Jamaica, you can't do that. You get a ticket. So therefore, the car them, and them a wicked man, we are thief all for money. Make sure so the people them not come up. Them have a thing with them called fitness from bad road. This is how them wicked leader make money off of the poor people. Make the road them bad so your car stay unfit. And they come out to the examiner to drive your car because your car is always going to be unfit. On a bad road, front end knock out. They come with the fitness. People are peer news. Them are tighten up on you. They have another habit where you drive down the road, police come out in the middle of the road with no probable cause, no reason to pull you over, looking for a probable cause, looking for a reason to give you a ticket. Mr. Police give a man ticket where have a toolbox in a car, in a station wagon. The station wagon is tinted. The only way the police could have seen it and let them stop the man who them never have no probable cause to stop him in the first place. Lift up in vehicle and search it with no court order, no reason to search a man vehicle. Looking at see toolbox, one give the man ticket. My family member tell me say them carry water in them personal car in the trunk. Police have stopped them say they need green plate. It's on the leader they're wicked when they thief everything. Let's continue.
99(1) of the Income Tax Act. They go on to say the director concludes that the appointment of Mr. Norman Brown, a business associate of Mr. Holness, as chairman of the Urban Development Corporation and the Housing Agency of Jamaica poses significant conflict of interest concerns, since both entities fall under Mr. Holness's portfolio as minister.
Hold on there. That Brown that we hear talk about, Norman Brown. You know, so a long time I hear say, it's alleged that the trucks where the PM have in Jamaica, it's under one man named Mr. Brown. We don't know if this man name, you know how true to it. It's an allegation that the trucks, the 160 trucks, where them having on the backside mine on the road, they might push out the contractor them on the road. The man with the little truck them on the road can't get no job because these people have them big old truck, brand new. We don't know where them people get money from. It's alleged that them have about 160 truck, maybe more by now. Me hear say the truck them in one man named Mr. Brown. I was told this about 3 to 4 years ago. And me hear some Mr. Brown, the trucks them operate in a St. Anne and in Clarendon. Also on the road. Me equipment upon the road for the Prime Son and his wife. These are allegations, and I would like the owners come iron this out.
Of economic growth and job creation. Mr. Brown is a minority shareholder in Estate Bridge and has made the single largest shareholder contribution to this company since its incorporation. The director does say there is no direct evidence to suggest any improprieties on the part of Mrs. Holness and Brown. Then the director raises concerns about the conduct of Barita in granting a $50 million loan to Imperium, saying it raises several prudential concerns. This in relation to the fact that this loan was supposed to be secured and was in fact unsecured. And they say collateral that should have been provided for the loan either did not exist in the name of the borrower or did not exist at the material time, and a legal mortgage which should have been registered in favor of Barita was not registered. Now, Barita said they had a practice of not formally securing loans by way of registration in respect of premium clients, but the director said that was unsatisfactory because the documents had certain fundamental errors which would almost certainly render the security unregistrable. Recommendations. The director recommended that the report be referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions on that issue of making a false statement, that in relation to the accounts, we've dealt with that. In relation to the filing of nil tax returns on the part of Imperium, Estate Bridge, Positive Media, and Green Emerald, in circumstances where these entities appear to be engaged in business activities, the director recommends that a copy of this report be referred to Tax Administration Jamaica for the necessary assessment to be made and where required for appropriate penalties to be imposed. Having regard to questions around the funding and operations of Positive Media, Positive Jamaica Foundation and Green Emerald, the director recommends that a copy of this report be referred to the Financial Investigation Division for investigation to be conducted. The finding of the director's investigation raises significant questions around the income generating capacity of the companies relative to the funds which have been identified in their accounts. In the case of Positive Media, the loans issued / transfers made to Imperium. In the case of Green Emerald, the issues were the loans issued to Positive Media, and in the case of Positive Jamaica Foundation, that was the circumstances surrounding the alleged use of funds belonging to Positive Jamaica as a partial source of funds for that $94,000 bond. The director says his powers and limited resources and the exigencies in relation to remit and time do not allow him to sufficiently ventilate this issue. In relation to the finding that Mr. Norman Brown, a business partner of Mr. Holness, chairs the UDC and the housing agency, which are within Mr. Holness's portfolio, the director recommends that a copy of this report be sent to the Ethics Committee of Parliament to determine the appropriateness of a minister appointing a business associate or personal connection to a public board under their portfolio. And he says the committee should also consider if there are enough safeguards in place to deal with any conflict of interest issues. In relation to Barito and their handling of the $50 million loan to Imperium, the director recommends that the report be referred to the Financial Services Commission for consideration as to whether those practices are consistent with the spirit and scheme of the Financial Services Commission Act. He's also recommending an audit of Barito's operations to determine whether they're complying with the law, industry standards, and terms and conditions of their license. As a last recommendation, the director says Parliament and the Cabinet Secretary should look at the issue of parliamentarians and public officers buying shares and other equities in public corporations as well as private companies which fall under the regulatory regime of the government of Jamaica. They say without prejudicing the right of any citizen to buy shares or invest, the director recommends that laws and guidance be implemented to mitigate conflict of interest and abuse of authority for financial gain and other actions which may amount to insider trading. It cannot be overlooked that parliamentarians and public officers, by virtue of their respective positions, will come into confidential information from time to time having to do with investment opportunities arising from government intervention and policies which they could use to their advantage or to benefit another. It ends by saying, having regard to the above findings and recommendations of this report, it cannot be ignored that as Prime Minister and head of government, Mr. Holness has a higher duty to the public to ensure that the laws of Jamaica are maintained and that he bears in mind and acts according to established public virtues which have been in existence since time immemorial and which have been succinctly encapsulated in the Nolan Principles of Public Life. The import of the Nolan Principles is that those who hold public office should embody the virtues of selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. This, of course, the report says, is not to question Mr. Holness's commitment to the virtues mentioned, except to say that a number of the findings of this report are antithetical to those virtues. Wow, that's a lot, and you can hear my voice is almost going. Okay, so that's the summary, conclusions, and recommendations of the report. As I mentioned, there's still a whole lot of information in the report. I am still going through it in terms of the body of it to see what else is there. I'm sure I'm going to be making other videos on this issue because this is, of course, an important developing story. The Prime Minister responded to the Integrity Commission report in Parliament. Now, his response was about 13-14 minutes long, so I can't share it here. But what I'll do is put the link down below, the link to the sitting of Parliament where he spoke, and I'll indicate where he started speaking, so you can check that out for yourself in the interest of balance and fairness. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dion. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Dion Jackson Miller. Ma'am, you really break it down clear. Even the dunce like me can understand, sister. I really appreciate you. People go check out our work on YouTube. The lady have her own YouTube channel where she breaks stuff down. Well, the true now hear me talk, I do a lot of reading. Make me hear the professional them who are going with them and how them are do it. Me talk about, you know, I feel listen from me. I me hear from some other beautiful voices. TVJ.
And welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
The Integrity Commission is insisting that it cannot certify the Prime Minister's assets, liabilities, and income unless the Financial Investigations Division, FID, examines the matter.
The
FID is basically responsible for probing financial crimes.
Now, the Integrity Commission is seemingly concerned about the movement of millions of dollars among 3 companies associated with the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. Andrea Chisholm has been reading the report and now joins us live. Andrea?
Well, Janella, the update comes as the long-awaited Integrity Commission report on the Prime Minister's statutory declarations was tabled Tuesday in the House of Representatives. Now, we must point out that the report is 171 pages, so we're still going through the details. Plus, there's a special report as well as an addendum and other details. Now, the report showed that the Integrity Commission was mainly focused on 3 companies associated with the Prime Minister.
The 3 companies that form part of the Integrity Commission's probe are Estate Bridge Development Company Limited, Imperium Investments Holdings Limited, and Positive Media Solutions Limited. All 3 are linked to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
What?
Due to the complexity of the matter, the Integrity Commission hired an independent forensic examiner to assess the financial transactions between the 3 companies and determine the true value of the investments. The authorities looked at bank statements involving the 3 companies. Those bank accounts were held at 3 financial institutions: the National Commercial Bank NCB, NCB Capital Markets, and Barita. Now, intercompany deposits among the 3 companies linked to the Prime Minister totaled roughly $473.2 million. Intercompany withdrawals amounted to roughly $427.2 million. That's for the period 2020 to June 2023. The Integrity Commission said records submitted for Imperium and the explanations from Dr. Holness do not fully account for the transactions. In addition, financial statements and other documentation from Imperium do not account for the movement of over $72 million from Positive Media to Imperium. Likewise, the management accounts of Positive Media and other documentation submitted to the Commission do not account for the amounts advanced to Imperium. Now, there's also an interesting development with the tax authorities. Tax Administration Jamaica indicated that Imperium filed a nil tax return for 2021 and 2022, meaning the business did not declare any income or expenses on the form. However, Imperium earned over $5.1 million in 2021 and over $6.5 million in 2022 in dividend, exchange gains, interest, and other income. Expenses for Imperium in 2021 were roughly $9.8 million, and for 2022, roughly $9.5 million. Estate Bridge also filed a nil tax return for 2021. However, interest income was over $1 million. The Integrity Commission is therefore urging Parliament to support the matter being referred to the Financial Investigations Division, FID. The Commission says there can be no finality in the matter until the FID has completed its work.
Now, after the report was tabled in the House, the Prime Minister was given the opportunity to make a personal statement. Now, Dr. Holness welcomed the fact that the report was tabled 2 years after the investigation began. He said he would be seeking legal advice on the report and the recommendations. He also said that he worked hard for what he had and made it clear that the interrogation of his personal affairs is not in any way connected to public funds.
I've always sought to discharge my duties with respect and dignity. Even for those who tried to bring me down and do personal harm to my reputation. The weaponization of accusations of corruption is nothing new in politics. However, even the most skeptical onlooker must conclude that the handling of this matter, the time it has taken, the public resources used to pursue it, raise cause for concern. And
no, the crap we are doing raise cause for concern. The crap we are doing in the office raise cause for concern. What we are hearing now is raising cause for concern, sir. No money not too big for spend on law enforcement. Law enforcement supposed to have the biggest budget. Andrew Holness, if I never know. Law enforcement supposed to have the biggest budget to catch criminals who embezzle money, fraudsters, what tax dodgers. Yeah? Leave the people alone and stop talking about the money. You spend billions of dollars, you print stupid plastic money. You spend how much $1 billion for Grand Gala? You spend how much $1 billion up at Devon House to take out the greenery, up the grass and the trees to put in concrete for tourists. You spend millions of dollars on Bustamante statue for a dead man. Eh? You spend millions of dollars so now go around Jamaica because Siaga in our box and Siaga bury a Jamaica. Millions of dollars on the spend. $500 million per empty building on a spend, Andrew Holness. $1.7 trillion is missing from your office, Flavor and Tufton Ministry. Must I go on about the money on a dash on a talk about money to spend to catch criminals? Ah, I saw the treat law enforcement at Jamaica. Let's continue.
while I will not pursue the view that this was politicized, I believe it is commonly agreed that the law governing the Integrity Commission is in urgent need of revision.
Brother, leave the Integrity Commission alone. Let me show you something, guys. Let me show you something before we go further with that. You see the first time this brother, you see the first time the Integrity Commission came out on him when he was in the Bahamas? See it there. See when we do that video last night. This is the thumbnail for last night. Go watch that video. Come I brought information tonight. Me do my research. Now, the first time the Integrity Commission come out to report on this man with the Westcon Construction when he was at the Ministry of Education, him as the Education Minister, a direct contract to his friend company or his company or his family company, Westcon Construction, right? The first time them do it, it was in the Bahamas. And what did he do? He come out with the same day. I'm sure you guys last night, and for you guys who was not here last night, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you a pattern. Me I hear about bomb threat last night. Bomb threat me I hear about last night. Look at the screen. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a pattern. And pay attention to these things, people. Because when I hear that boy, you know, and when I turn no fool. And nobody now take the people must have turn fool. When I'm mad somebody, man. In our work, so man. When I'm mad. So now, on the screen yesterday, Jamaica PM facing anti-corruption scrutiny. This is when? February 16, 2023. When I see it? And look what happened the same day. Pay attention to the date and the headline. This is when the Integrity Commission come out and publish, just like when them do day before yesterday. And yesterday hear about bomb threat, right? Day before yesterday, the Prime Minister corruption dash where road like a dirty water, like it should, expose his backside. No corruption here. And either side, corruption hurt the poor people of Jamaica. So now, day before yesterday, they came out with the report. Then yesterday, I hear about bomb threat. I'm going to show you a pattern, and I pay attention to it. When they came out with the Integrity Commission report the first time, it was February 16, 2023. Look at the date. Now, look what happened on the same day. See it there? Office of the Prime Minister hit by cyber attack. February 16, 2023. Look again for yourself. February 16, 2023. In the writers, right? And all over the world. Jamaica, Prime Minister facing corruption, anti-corruption scrutiny. See it there, February 16. And what happened February 16? The office of the Prime Minister was hit by cyber attack. So the day before yesterday, them come out, come dash the Prime Minister a road again like dirty water, like he should. be exposed for corruption. Yeah, because we need clean people in the office. A day before yesterday, them come out with it. And last night, I hear now bomb threats. Is there a pattern here? Every time the Integrity Commission do them work, there's always some distraction as to something is happening to the Prime Minister. A cyber attack in his office when the first report come out on his corruption at the Education Ministry. Now we have a bomb threat when they do a thorough investigation on his ass, and it really right now, you can't get out of this. And the Integrity Commission make sure so them do them work good, that all the I's and cross every T. You can't explain yourself out of this. They make sure fix you up very good. So look at it again, my people. The 16th of February 2023, they come out to the report that the man corrupt. All this corruption at the Ministry of Education or in direct business to himself and in company or whatever. See, the same day, try to fool the nation about cyber attack in them office. When they come back from the Bahamas, I'll know when they hear nothing about the cyber attack. Run down now to today, 2024. The day after, him get exposed again by the same Integrity Commission. What him do again? The next day, we're lucky he never do it the same day because people him have a pattern of doing this. Remember, him do this the same day, you know, the 16th. All in the same day. We're lucky he never called bomb threat the same day when this come out. And lucky, you know. And lucky, he never say bomb threat the same day. So, I don't understand why I'm going with this pattern here. People just bring it out there. You understand me? So, I don't feel in my heart say, no bomb threat happen and nothing and that no happen, people. Because last night when I read it, I hear say them have nobody have interest or seek after. Them say them squash it. But I don't see a person of interest. I don't hear they call no name, say them seek this person, that person. You talk about a government to claim, say them can't track even the fly and the mosquito and the bees. Yeah? And you can't find who do this. Look here, man. Look, listen up the rest of this. I may have more information for you here. Listen up good.
Current context of its operations does weaken its credibility. And we must do everything to ensure that the appropriate laws are in place to prevent the politicization of the Commission and to support the Commission in its work. We must also ensure that the Commission itself is efficient and pays due regard to the use of public funds and the time and resources required of public officials to comply. To this end, the law must ensure that the work of the Commission focuses on relevant, significant, and material issues. Mr. Speaker, I will take legal advice on this report and its recommendations, including recommendations for referral to other entities.
People, may I show you another pattern. When he was in the Bahamas, when the report came out on him and exposes corruption at the Ministry of Education. When he come back, he attacked the Integrity Commission same way. Said the Integrity Commission Act need to be reviewed. Remember, it's like a Trump attacking the investigator. This brother, if him clean and him have nothing to hide, would allow the people that he hired to do this job. Him hire them. Is the PNP and the Mark Gold and Portia Simpson Miller created the Integrity Commission Act. But Andrew Holness, because he want to get image look good, because the corruption index in Jamaica was in the gutter. So him grab up this thing where Mark Gold create now on the PNP, never read the fine print, and implement it because he want to look good in the rural stage and get better loan. Because in the corruption index, Jamaica bad. So he want to clean up his image now and pick up the Integrity Commission. Never know say it lick hot. And the people in there decide to practice and exercise integrity. You see what I said? So then they seem to start gag them. Even though the two of them get together to try to sign a memorandum of understanding to work together on our behalf to catch criminals and all type of those crooks. See there, two of them come together. People we have the offices in Jamaica to make Jamaica a better place. Honestly, if them that function the right way, we don't need no FBI, we don't need no Scotland Yard, we don't need nobody. But we have all these entity in Jamaica, them only a pretty name, the FLA, the MOCA, and all this beautiful name. We not really work because politicians neuter them to them own benefit. Gag order everywhere. This government is a gag government. See the two of them get together. So the FID get together with the Integrity Commission, signing a memorandum of understanding to work together and share information. See there, but I can't form here from Miss Jackson Miller. It seems as if the government not like this. So what them do again? Gag this move right here. Because this will be too powerful. Then I really get some criminal now if the IC and the FID work together hand in hand on our behalf. We have the entity in Jamaica to hold these guys accountable and run the country. We don't need no FBI. The politicians themselves are keeping in this. Jamaica is quite advanced, you know. It's the government that hold the people back. The people of Jamaica are smart and wise and intelligent. It is the government that want to move forward. They are holding the country back. Yeah? Now, at this point, we're going to play something what the PNP them must say. Because, you know, more for you what the PNP them must say on this car. The PNP them come out and attack, you know, based on what them read. So we also want to hear what the PNP have to say, right, on this regard, because them said that I don't read it, you know.
That was on the investigation for illicit enrichment. His answer was that he asked far and wide, and nobody indicated so. What we found out yesterday in the report is that from May 2023, he was written to formally by the Integrity Commission to indicate that he was under investigation for illicit enrichment. Further, from the chronology of events, he has been in touch, his lawyers have been in touch with the Integrity Commission in relation to the said investigation. So when he says to the public he has asked far and wide and he doesn't know, he misled the public. So the question I have, what can I believe the Prime Minister on tomorrow, the next day, or next week? I can't take his word as Prime Minister. That's the first reason. The second reason, the Integrity Commission has said they have gone as far as they can, but they can't draw a conclusion in relation to illicit enrichment. Why? Because some of the information they need, the Prime Minister did not provide. They have then said they're going to refer to the Financial Investigations Division, which deals with the investigation of financial crimes. So they obviously believe that based on all the information, they used an international forensic accountant to assist them. They believe it rises to that level because the FID only deals with financial crimes. Now, you're gone 3 years without certification. After an investigation where you have not provided the information for the Integrity Commission to conclude, the Integrity Commission said, I'm going to refer you to the FID. We must have a Prime Minister who remains under this cloud without resolution for this period.
Just before I go to Marlon Morgan on that point, though, because again, aren't you getting ahead of yourself?
Not at all.
You're saying
not at all.
The referral is, you seem to be coming to the conclusion that financial crime is involved. The reality is that the investigation was about illicit enrichment, and to bring it to a close.
But the reason they can't close it is because he hasn't provided the information they have asked.
That's not the only reason. They directly specifically said that due to remit and lack of resources of his own.
And he also said in relation to expenses that they would want to determine whether his income is commensurate with it, that he didn't provide the information. First is that there's a total break.
La 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 la. People who not hear what is going on, who not have to take it from me, you know, who not take it from the professional them, the people that were in at the office them. You hear me say? Not take it from me, people. Don't take it from me. When you take it from the people them in at the office where I do the work, people. Eh? You know, for a man, where all this man are so rich. This man, I'm so rich. More of you know.
In a 2-bedroom boardhouse at 56 Cumberland Road,
in a Spanish town, just down the road from the Grassyard Market. My father is still a farmer, and my mother is a retired civil servant.
Father a farmer, mother a retired civil servant. So the brethren are born in a wealth. Father a farmer, mother a retired civil servant. Me know you know wealth round there, so. Oh, you so rich. You're rich like you have some hand-me-down money from your parents. We start here again. Wanna listen? 8 years ago.
I was born in a two-bedroom boardhouse at 56 Cumberland Road in a Spanish town.
Now you're good?
Just down the road from the Grassyard Market. My father is still a farmer, and my mother is a retired civil servant who sent the two of us, me and my sister, to school on a civil servant salary.
Eh?
I never born with no gold spoon in my mouth.
Eh?
I know what it is to go to school and not have no lunch money. But my parents teach me pride. My parents said don't beg and don't make nobody know when you're in need. And my father said we study hard. My mother told me we work hard. I grew up with the ethic of work and study. It is education and my hard work that has got me where I am today, along with the help of caring parents, caring family, and good friends. So you will never hear me badmine nobody with them Finstock house. You will never hear me badmine nobody in Scotland whenever
Lord. No, this is a privacy. A doctor this? No, man. Dr. Francis tell me, say, when a man have a doctorate, them speak different. You know, he never talk about specifically the Prime Minister. Me and Dr. Francis was having a conversation about this doctorate to the Prime Minister saying get. Dr. Francis also said when a person have a doctorate, they speak different, you know. He never have this yet. But even up to today, the Prime Minister not change the way he talk and present himself. No, people. Well, continue to listen to this, brother. This is 8 years ago.
Finstock house. You will never hear me badmine nobody. You will never hear that out of the Labour Party that I feel. Because the Labour Party believe that every poor man must build his castle. Every poor man must build him big house. And we not go to feel.
Breakdown of trust in the
Hold on.
Prime Minister. The Prime Minister.
This is why we say education is free. Health is free. And we must make the place secure so you can live.
All right, Andrew Honest. Good time. 8 years ago, you know, people. Them a time, you know, we all I say Andrew Honest. You know, give him a chance. But make we hear what go on here, people.
For months, and I sat down and I looked at it. For months, we were at that point where we said nobody knew if they were being investigated. The Integrity Commission didn't send a letter. No, nobody has said anything to me. When you look at this report, the initial communication was September 30, 2022 regarding the omissions in the 2021 statutory.
So now you're good. All right, guys, we're gonna fix it so later on the year good. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna fix it on the year good. Later on, man, kind of show not done it, you know. Later on, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna fix it on the year good. Because as information are coming in, we know this thing stay and we're gonna make gonna hear it. We're not hiding nothing from our own people. So what you hear go on there so is that
from May 2023, he was written to formally by the Integrity Commission.
so I want to hear what go on. I'm gonna listen to brother yeah one more time and tell me if you can hear this clear. Again.
The first is that there's a total breakdown of trust in the Prime Minister.
Can you hear that?
The Prime Minister was asked publicly if he was aware of any member of the Jamaica Labour Party that was under investigation for it.
Thank you for showing me say the sound a chip out, because sometimes when I listen and I hear it, and telling me, the love when you tell me that, so I figure a different way at a later point and replay the audio. When I hear that, Sophia says she hear that. Because hear what I go on, because we want to hear better, want to hear explanation. All right.
The first is that there's a total breakdown of trust in the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was asked publicly if he was aware of any member of the Jamaica Labour Party that was under investigation for illicit enrichment. His answer was that he asked far and wide, and nobody indicated so. What we found out yesterday in the report is that from May 2023, he was written to formally by the Integrity Commission to indicate that he was under investigation for illicit enrichment. Further, from the chronology of events, he has been in touch, his lawyers have been in touch with the Integrity Commission in relation to the said investigation.
Wow.
So when he says to the public he has asked far and wide and he doesn't know, he misled the public. So the question I have, what can I believe the Prime Minister on tomorrow, the next day, or next week? I can't take his word as Prime Minister. That's the first reason. The second reason, the Integrity Commission has said they have gone as far as they can, but they can't draw a conclusion in relation to illicit enrichment. Why? Because some of the information they need, the Prime Minister did not provide.
Wow.
They have then said they're going to refer to the Financial Investigations Division, which deals with the investigation of financial crimes. So they obviously believe that based on all the information, they used an international forensic accountant to assist them. They believe it rises to that level because the FID only deals with financial crimes. Now, you're gone 3 years without certification. After an investigation where you have not provided the information for the Integrity Commission to conclude, the Integrity Commission said, I'm going to refer you to the FID. We must have a Prime Minister who remains under this cloud without resolution for this period.
Just before I go to Marlon Morgan on that point, though, because again, aren't you getting ahead of yourself?
Not at all.
You're saying
not at all.
The referral is, you seem to be coming to the conclusion that financial crime is involved. The reality is that the investigation was about illicit enrichment, and to bring it to a close.
But the reason they can't close it is because he hasn't provided the information
That's
they have
not
asked.
the only reason. They directly specifically said that due to remit and lack of resources of his office.
And he also said in relation to expenses that they would want to determine whether his income is commensurate with it, that he didn't provide the information. The first is that there.
So you can hear the man say, so the Prime Minister big old liar because the Prime Minister was sitting with investigators with the Integrity Commission the whole time. Yeah, the whole time he was sitting with them, and he might tell lie to the people, and the whole time the man meet with investigators. Yeah, him and him liar know all this thing long time, and this brother I come go on like say, nothing go on, nothing to see here. How are the backside of Guana people? How are Guana John Sharp? Eh? How can you trust a Prime Minister like that? We have disaster come at Jamaica all the time. Virus disease might take away. And this brother here, say no. Let me say I have a clip with him. I said those words. Because we like to bring it to the people.
Says so far he's not aware of any member of his Jamaica Labour Party administration being investigated for alleged illicit enrichment by the Integrity Commission.
I have asked as far and as wide. I have gotten a response from everyone. But as far as I have been told, no.
Same ask far and wide. You haven't got that response from anyone. So as far as him know, no. You need to see me I say? So oil, so me I look for one couple of news, say oil boom in Guyana a potential player in the global geopolitics. So you have Ireland, your country, a big boy, yeah. But what about the island of Jamaica? I mean, you nothing from the PNP or the Labour about it, you know, but hold on there. That's another thing. But you know, we'll get back to that later on. But for right now, we have to root out this cancer out of office. This cancer, we can't allow to stand. You know, we want Vybz Kartel to go to prison and stay in there and face the consequences of his crime, right? But when it comes to politicians, they must stay out the road and go on like say, nothing happen, right? When corruption right in our eyeball. And if you understand what we're saying, how can this happen? How can you want the youth them to act at a certain type of way, but when it comes to politicians, they must not pay for their crime? This cannot allow to happen. I think Andrew Holness should step down on behalf of the country to save the country integrity, make us salvage anything we have left of the country when regard to integrity people and them thing there, and push the country forward. You understand me? The Labourite come up with somebody better if you don't love Jamaica. Yes, you can be all the Labourite you want to be. Me no care upon this platform. But just come up with somebody better other than Andrew Holness. Look here, Jamaica deserve better than this. Andrew Holness is destroying the Labourite Party. I'm not going to make Andrew Holness destroy the party. Do you guys love the JLP or only just love Andrew Holness? Want to love one corrupt man or want to love the Labourite Party? Want to love the Labourite Party of old? Is this the Labourite Party of old or just make one man, him wife, him son, him mother, him father, and all this allegation and the mix up and the gumbo? You don't want all this thing to drag on. People who have intention to go further with political life and political career. Why you guys are hitching your trailer head to this, your wagon to this corrupted head? We're going to blaze down the road of fire. Why you guys can't kick out the driver out of the seat? Nobody here have integrity. Nobody here. Everybody here would do the same thing. Everybody here. Nobody will see nothing wrong the Prime Minister is doing. Is it that everybody is doing the same goddamn thing? Guys, thank you for watching this video. My name is Jamaican Carlos. As usual, I am a student in your guys' class. Please make sure your comments make sense in every sentence. If this is the first time on this platform and you like the work, go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. Go over there, go take a look. Yes, people. Yes. You could have simple put a thumbs up on this video. Share it to someone, people. Just pay your dues by hitting the thumbs up. Yeah? Yeah, man. Share the work. And please pay your dues by hitting the like button, people, you know, so we can, you know, push this thing forward and make me feel good, say you guys appreciate the hard work that me I put in. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Jamaica favorite place, now Andrew Holness place, and my mother and my father place. It is our place, and we're going to fight for it. And while these guys are rich, I'm going to take it to a community service announcement before we go.
Yes, hello world. So I am currently, I just run over to the supermarket, Progressive Supermarkets, to buy some ground beef because I feel like I want to eat a burger. So may I pick up the ingredients? So I just come over to the aisle. You know, I'm coming from Canada, so I have some fresh prices in my brain. So I say one burger and things, so I just go buy the ingredients. So I come over the supermarket and them have scallion and thing and pepper and thing, and I see them label with them little Jamaican labels and stuff. So I feel so proud. But when I start look down on the prices, no man, I almost defecate myself when I look on the price. Me know that I can't even buy the ingredient and I find me I come from, and it's not that I don't have the money, but I think this is unjust. Look at the price. Let me turn on it. So this is one single salad tomato, and it is $732.04 Jamaican, product of Jamaica. When you do the conversion rate at today's dollar, this tomato is $6, right? For $6 Canadian for one single tomato. Okay? Scallion over there. This little bunch of scallion here would cost us like 60 cents in Canada, and look how much for it in Jamaica, $277.02. This is almost go almost $3 Canadian for just this. Now we are complaining to the food price in Canada hard, but me never they expect this at Jamaica for the local stuff them to be this expensive. How can the local people buy food for them a price here? Me I come from foreign and they not have them a price here a foreign. Much less the local stuff them down here so 3 and 4 times more expensive. Me not even go look pan the pepper. A matter of fact, me I look pan the pepper. One single pepper, right here so for $828. Do the conversion rate to Canadian and you will see how much. The cost for this one single pepper will give you 6 or 8 in Canada. Just a FYI. Jamaica, we need to do better. Whoever the government is that regulate food down here, you need to come and pay attention to these grocery stores because they are not pricing this stuff for the local people. You understand? How can local people afford all of them something here? Piece of dry up pumpkin for $300. See there? This a dry rotten pumpkin here, all them melting in the bag. You don't see it? Jesus. We need help, Father. Them things are off the record. So wicked. So wicked. Anyways, look man, like, tag and share this video so that people can see a progressive supermarket media. I'm in a business if they want to ban me if you not come back in here. They need to do better. And the prices on these things are ridiculous. You understand? They cost so much more money for it down here when the things them down here local. These are local scallion and local tomato and pepper. So make them have to be so expensive. Yo. Nothing will cost no bad word, I just go humble myself. Pray for the people.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives.
I hear man talk all kind of lie. Oh, 20 million and 28 million. Lie! Me not take no salary increase. So my salary is what it was before. And I tell you something, I feel like just keep back to. Because he's a proud man, you know. Me don't like people tell lie for me.
The government, because the economy is growing, the government is now giving young people who are registered in HEART approximately $150 each month to help them with the bus fare and help them with the lunch money. So nobody has any excuse not to go to school to learn a skill because you're getting help with the bus fare and help with the lunch money as well. If that is not transformational, I don't know what is. So if that is not transformational, I don't know what is. So
there is no tracking of people. There is no curtailing of people saying anything that is negative. That is absolutely not the case.
The person was tracked and their identity discovered.
Anyone can say anything and it is amplified around the country and around the world. And it is important that as we protect the rights of our people and protect the right to freedom of expression and speech, that at the same time it is grounded in truth.
Listen.
One of the things that I know affecting whole heap of people in Jamaica is the high electricity bill.
Can I hear that?
When the PMP come into power, them say them go and bring down electricity costs. What has happened since? Electricity costs keep rising.
8 years ago.
They promised that by 2016 they would have made the JPS more efficient with more efficient plants. That's not going to happen till another 2 years. And before you know it, it will be another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generated plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
Thank you, Max. What a thing with the line there, me say. What? People be belly.
Some 60-odd shelters across the country.
Go to any of our 780 plus shelters.
We have 900 shelters right across the island.
People, I wonder if you understand what I going on John Shapia.
Our first 100 days of government, we will start the process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises, truth, and trick you into voting for 100 days. The fixed election date, still await for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable, as we say, none of your promise to fulfill it fast. So there are we. Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to include impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament. All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets, which are agreed upon by the cabinet.
Where that there?
Focused on two things.
Where that there?
Economic growth and job creation.
Andrew, you need for doing instead of on 2016, you say you're going to put it on paper. Say anything you put on paper, the MP have to work when they say you need for do it now. I feel like say when you do that, the MP will do them work and we will see work done in the community.
Within the first 100 days of government, we will start process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
Andrew Holness, John Wong, breaking promise. Enough thing him say I'm going to do for the next 100 days and now he's not do nothing. Him not keep no promise and him say I'm the promise keeper. What a promise. John
What a promise.
At a convenient time within our new government, we will hold referendum. The CCJ,
when
the Caribbean Court of Justice, and the Court.
We still are waiting.
Make so much promise for us. Look how long you're in there.
Still are waiting.
Nothing done. All for the COVID. You promise people $25,000. Nothing done.
See there?
Huh? So what you expect me to do? Tell me 7 people to do around with that open. And nothing done.
When I talk about COVID, I barely we are talking about now, same thing. Nothing done. The people, the man get money if you give the people them and the big C, them not get it. Burial are the same thing. We get donation from all over the world. But people, I got to go. This brother's a national disgrace. I think Andrew must do the right thing for the country. Step out like a general, step out like a boss for the country. Do the right thing. Pull a Bruce Golding. Pull a Joe Biden. Do the right thing for the country. Pull a Joe Biden. Pull a Bruce. Step down. Do the right thing for the country. Give it somebody better, Mr. Honest. This is too much taint. This is too much garbage in the office of Jamaica. You think Jamaica, the office of the Prime Minister need this type of energy in the boss, this type of this? You think it need this garbage in there? I think he should step aside, to handle financial business. I should be brought and held to justice. Yeah, he's been tried and carted off to jail like anybody else. Yeah, no, we hear about you. Can you lie to me until we say, you don't know, but nobody want an investigation? Your wife in a parliament was telling Miss Brown, yeah, your wife in a parliament was telling Miss Brown Burke that she must retract her statement. She don't know nothing about illicit sex. That's what me hear she told Miss Brown Burke. And I will find that clip to play when the wife was lying in parliament saying that she don't know anything about illicit sex when the Prime Minister himself was part of the six. And what it indicates to me right now, the wife is a part of the six too, because I don't know how you're going to separate these two. Right? So, one to the wife. So, we have 7 left now. Now, what the Integrity Commission are waiting upon? When we're going to hear the other report then? We, the Jamaican people, are waiting patiently to hear the rest of Bangarang, where come off and the rest of report them. Want to hear how much money them fool their teeth from the people, and they must step down to do the right thing, Andrew Holness. Do the Dalrymple. Do the Dalrymple. Pull a Dalrymple. Step down out of office. From what we're reading right here, your crime is worse than Dalrymple. And she was kicked off as the Speaker of the House and kicked out of the Parliament of her constituency as MP. No, Mr. Holness, do the Dalrymple. Pull a Joe Biden. Pull a Bruce Golding. Step away on behalf of the country. Do the right thing, sir. It will be an honorable thing to do despite the situation. But Jamaica can't be allowed to be dragged in the mud by this man and his family. Tell me what you think in the comment section about this video. People, my name is Jamaican Carlos. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for rolling out and watching and commenting. I really appreciate it. Jamaica to the world. It's a no manner party for me. But Andrew Holness got to go. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I'm out.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again. What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. COVID money, miss away, eat the yellow rat you. Use the youth, them money, waste for most of the statue. Say we like a catch you, but we got in a figure you. Take the script of money, got and say that is not you. One day the man above him up, him a got a breath. But it in the kitchen, some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me. 300% raise. It burn me. Garbage pile up the day. It burn me. Give the teacher them raise. It burn me. I see corruption please. It burn me. Mash down the people them house. It burn me. Every day appear arms out. It burn me. Appear money them a thief. It burn me. And them a sell out with each. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again.
Some 60-odd shelters across the country.
Go to any of our 780 plus shelters.
We have 900 shelters right across the island.